Isha, 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 কাছে এসো। Isha, কাছে এসো। Isha, কাছে এসো। Isha, কাছে এসো।
TH, absent, continually, most times not. Absent or cut out. A philosophical novel with backdoor references that are truly beyond you, me, probably. Plot, some kind of apocalypse, inverted. People splitting, oozing out more people. One man, a philosophy professor, keeps going despite himself. I'm not an actor or a very good orator, to be honest, so I'm just gonna wing this, switch to my normal voice, which is quite monotone, so it should be okay. 100 or so videos. As with most of my work, this will be doggedly all over the place, including the tone. Really, I'm not as depressed as I sound. Who can say in the history of this planet that they've sat in a sun lounger 1,450 full stop up, swigging from a 20,000 Indian currency bottle of cognac as they watch the Arabian Sea turn slowly pink with blood? Overpopulation, the final epidemic. No more room in Hull. Humans as Goya spread, in the desert, in the snow. Situated in Lower Parel, South Mumbai, and standing at 1,450 feet, with 117 floors, the World One Tower was the planet's tallest residential skyscraper, at the topmost point of which he sat, and waited, and watched, as the population continued to swell, the earth beneath it dying, and at the center of it all, the realization that his own thoughts were coming to an end. It turned out death and meaninglessness were not types of void. A were not deficiencies, but excesses. E void is not nothing. The void is too much. He is watching mass death unfold as lax rooftop cinema. It's routine for him. He has a scraper to scrape away bodies. It's not clear yet. Whatever it is, he's completely blank about it. The text cannot be horrific, cannot be horror. Massive paperclips and massive human bodies. Here in Terminal Park, one is as replicable as the other. That replication in the mirror is not me. It is not who I imagine people see when they talk to me. I imagine better. I imagine worse. Kind of Gaelic version of James Duval. 4 a.m. McNulty. Abject as it gets. Carl in Mumbai, living his very best forfeited existence, being narrated against, swigging cognac as the bodies pile up below. He is excluded from this new abjection. His territory has been demarcated. A skyscraper in Mumbai, him alone, wondering if total life will defeat total death and become a nothingness of everything. Why did the population start accelerating so fast? The conceit itself is abject, an inversion of the sterility, fear of drying up of people. Just go with it. No line between combatant and civilian, no cost of war, no hospital HQ. In the end, the only deviant behavior was paralysis. A tie-like ritualism unites all live humans in this philosophical not gonna happen state, this perv real. It moves, you kill it. A re-territorialization of the zombie apocalypse flick, where the zombies are infinitely expanding and temporarily alive, full of as abject signifier, they are full of nothing, only that which must be killed. When humans are few and isolated, a moral collapse. Inverted too. When humans occupy all atomic space, a moral reprogramming. What about death in reflection, on screen? Death of meaning, ossification of one sole meaning. Janet Leigh to Marion Crane, Marion Crane to shrieking shower queen. A giant screen of 10 million shrieking shower queens equals alexithymia, alexithymia, alexithymia. A split figure called Andrew Singer murders 300 plus 58 minors, ascribes it to alexithymia. This is no longer a crime. Carl is Gary. Gary is Carl. An Indian doppelganger, perhaps. To give in to disgust, dirtiness, is the dream of every human in Terminal Park. They sanction this, dedicate their lives to the process of it. Carl ate at the usual times. Carl lives with decomposition as backdrop. A low drop. It's important that he's high up, living. To be alive in the morgue was shameless. The morgue has limits, a maximum holding capacity. To be alive on Earth was shameless. Earth has limits, a maximum holding capacity. His psyche slowly murders itself, detaches and departs and murders itself as the body continues. Disgusting. Massacres all around the globe, described in detail from the great eye of the galaxy. A person to an object to a flicker of something lifelike. Blood to blood ocean, but no longer blood, just ocean. Carl the God of Time, or Carl the 2005 Hindi eco-horror? Where are all these bodies coming from? A hyper-real fissioning event. You know it, you feel it right now. At some point, types become type, becomes tip, becomes... Turned out, the overpopulation is asexual. Children are still drying. It's just people. Infinite fissions of people. What about the parasocial, the reified signal? He watched one woman give birth while people were eating her, starting on the baby before it fully exited the mother. No single thought. He watched and he waited to feel some moralist too busy killing. When it didn't come, he felt the absence for as long as he could, like this and go on, until that too went away. Permanent hugging, a suffocation of the text is insufficient. How cannot translate horror? It needs to be seen as wailing signifiers. A horror show. In Kabul, a man sprawled on a carpet of bisected ateliers, bloated from check neck, scratches away into his own trachea. Another man nearby prods a baby's labia with a letter from the electricity board. West of Maribor, an excitable woman kicking the face off a mandrill in quick save. Her partner nearby, frenzied, carving out a 4D printed pussy of Berenice I. On the promenade of Runtime, gentrified. A group of phrenology grads corner a frightened young girl and inject rat hormones into her clitoris. Later, an interloper approaches, rips out her womb, reads to it. In Newcastle, a man boards a canal boat, takes a mask, kills Jim with a spear gun before impaling Susie. In Cairo, Julius fights Jason on a rooftop, exhausting himself with an endless series of punches. Fully drained, enervated, Jason decapitates him with a single punch. Maybe if she had a name, a hobby, maybe if she were a Lacanian psychologist, maybe if she were Carl's mom. In Alita, the engineer Lost dreams up the Queen of Mars to ultimately betray him. In Terminal Park, the philosopher Carl dreams up a proliferation of humankind to ultimately defeat him, give weight to his philosophies, serve as a self-analytical device. There was a literal splitting of people, then a hyper-real psychic continuation of it. So a split equals a loss, or a doppelganger, a psychic atomic mass. I don't know the exact terminology for it, but it likely made it easier to kill. As in the excess is not real. Do whatever you want. No morality in the hollow suites. No light behind the eyes, etc., etc. It has come from him, grown from disgust, his own objective double. People are already bodies, Christava on the brain. Just imagine, doubles of weightless doubles, bodies that cannot have a psychology unless you imagine that too. Unless they've written a book on Christava, made an experimental film like Jane Arden. How would they let you know that? Why would they be spared? What is Terminal Park? It's a territory of amusement for the end of humankind, populated by Carl the Unfeeling. Carl is already already psychologically detached from the too much void around him. The query is, why no change in him? An environment of mass carnage, the new continuation of the world. He just watches it like the news. Answer? Nothing has changed. The mass carnage merely split itself, expanded to include everyone, and he is alone. Same as before, only now inside a kind of egregious symbolism that he himself seems to find intolerable and ridiculous. The abject authenticates itself through necessity, through having no opposition, through answering its own reluctant objections as a middle-class invention, academic class. The abject cooked up in this here, despite its understands this. Gary would rather be elsewhere. Abject Carl is a philosopher. Here, it is object. The worst subject have always been dug up corpse, forced to work in a call center, to live inside of that. That's why he's still here. He doesn't know how to exit. Of course, if a mob didn't eat a baby fresh from the womb, that would provoke something. It would. Or not. Perhaps irritation or moral residue. A kind of past state that in Carl's mind was, I don't know, artifice. That's why he's still here. He doesn't know how to exit. His body doesn't know how. There is a pleasure and an unpleasure to objection. Beautiful horror. I didn't really actually encounter anything. It might take control. That's not me in the mirror. Is it? X then began walking around the perimeter, quoting Bataille out of context and urging the surviving members of the audience to kill themselves. Bataille the go on, you first. Bataille the desperate coronographer. Bataille the he will live here for 195 days. When he leaves, he will not return. An end has been located. Why 195? 195 equals an angel number signifying transformation and new beginnings. Carl is a rigid, ordered type of guy. He has a need to reflect on the mass carnage of this apocalypse. Why? What's the psychology behind this? Can't he just go? He'd cured himself of neurosis in his 20s by overindulging on fear, diving into the depression and suffocating it to death by living inside of it. Carl's been already dead for a long time. So these 195 days are what? A philosophical demand? Is this Felix Guitar's chaosmosis? The decoding of chaos into the infinite other of you-porn? 195 as an act of aberrant ritualism that even Carl himself doesn't understand. The same way he shot the man in the penthouse suite. A kind of inaugural murder to start off the process. He's watching more and more screens, communing with lunatic survivors without actual communication. Does not desire to talk to these people. Does not desire to talk. Does not desire. The fixation on one pure concept, the objection of self, the swimming in it, the idea that it might continue through infinite proliferation of bodies you already cannot stand. What does come first, the serial killer or the pathology? What degree of reason is authentic? If I'm subsumed in, by, objection, it will only be a kind of gibberish. Language is an obstacle. It's too late. I think in words and movie stills forced into Frankenstein scenes. That is how I think. Is it not? One human can split numerous times, it turns out. The copies are physically independent. It may be a result of advances in hard light technology. No need for epistemic concern. Each split could be the return of an objection, freed as society reaches a hyperreal vanishing point, where every single thing has the authenticity of a shrieking shower queen. The dying becomes more and more surreal, and undying as some of the corpses sing while being eaten by dogs. Corpses used as ballast for reclaimed land. Corpses, just corpses. Endless. When I was a child, my sisters dressed me up as a new sister, as they called it. And they took me down to their school. Primary school, I think. Introduced me to their classmates as Olivia. I wonder what happened to her. Mortgaged inside her own psycho bar. This is your murder plan. You are jealous. Kill them. Will you make me do it? Will you? More flesh, less moleskin. More viscera, less flesh. Is there a reason for a split? A deeper reason? Carl seems to be fine. Unless he's split already, and we're following the abjection. Or he's beyond it. Defeating neurosis was to merge with all that had been abjected on some unconscious level. Perhaps. And now, there's just nothing to split. More grist for the blood mill. More ballast for People Island. How long has Carl been watching these videos for? From before the fissioning event? One 195 days in the Psycho Barn. Ah, Psycho. Psycho is here. And here. And there. And here. And there. And here. And here. The artist, NB, vaguely, deliberately Norwegian, does not split, but places himself inside the split of the Psycho Barn, a recreation of the house from Psycho, which was itself not a complete house, only two facades of one, apparently. He would leave this place a shell, full of its unreality, drained of subject reality, spat back out into it. Don't worry, MB, everyone's splitting now. How real can you get?
Try to come back.
All of us by now, at some point, have written, will write the phrase, copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy is not new. It's never new. It does not say fake house so much as this is the shrinking possibility of fakery. Only enlarged, relocated, properly located here in Terminal Park. as NB infiltrates the shrinking real to reach the expanding, consuming illusion of real, watched on the screen by Carl, watched in text form by me with my own picture of the Bates house in my head. What does any of it mean? An unmooring of everything. In my head, I'm picturing Psycho 2 as a child. Meg Tilly spied on by Norman, perv real estate lab. Teen boys stabbed in the basement. College girls stabbed on the toilet. Dennis Franz trapped in an airport at Christmas. Parker, the artist, had made an object she did not understand. There were reasons for it, nothing more. I do not understand the psychobot or terminal part. The entire thing is folding into folds that give me a migraine to follow. I have understood it already. Understood that it's burrowing deeper and deeper into its points, that kind of text. And what will it find down there? In there, out there? A grassy patch of New York, a nightly ritual of shower scene murders. Only the shower has been left behind. NB watches. Carl watches. Just like that copycat of the Vonnegut style too well. The copy has passed beyond its own creation. Buffers a state of depression. NB believes himself to be contracting into the psychobot. He believed himself to be. But he has split. Created a split. Watching his believing comrade. Some days, when he slept, he dreamt nothing but the green zap. The green mist, the green ray, a French version of it. Seen for less than a second on clear horizons at sunset, or its opposite. Carl has been absorbed by this greenness, sees it constantly, dreams of it. The world has been rearranged, re-atomized. When I was a kid, that appeared as an anamorphic image, seen only when there were no boats around, i.e. never. Does that qualify as anamorphic? Bitterness on my part? Disgust? What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? The copies proliferate, and the area's infinite emptiness prevails. Even naming an atom seems pointless. What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? This is horror. What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? When I was a kid, I was psycho mean. Fucking boring, tedious. Humans are truly parasitic. What does psycho mean? Imagine a collage video trailer made by one of these parasites. Miserable audio editing. What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? I'm better at keeping the misery at bay than most people. Some people. What does psycho mean? I've kind of reduced it to a background green sound. What does psycho mean? Green mist. What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? I'm not sure what happened in the last psycho murder. What does psycho in the text, that is. What does psycho? Carl and MB noticed something jittery. I did not. What does psycho mean? Maybe I'm out of phase. What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? Who is Janet Lee? Janet Leigh? What does psycho mean? What else did she do? What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? What does we are all of us, the blood from Marion's wounds. Psycho amnesia. What does psycho mean? I don't want to give away the ending, if there is one. What does it mean? What does probably stuck in there somewhere among all the gaps, contradictions, AI startups, funeral homes, excuses, fiberglass molds, body horror, Kuheli, Shani, generative nihilism. What does psycho mean? Generative Marion Gray. What does psycho mean? 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 To crawl out. What does psycho mean? The back of Janet Lee's head. Marion Crane's head. What does psycho mean? MC's head. Mummy, what does it mean? A blonde-haired head. What does psycho mean? A shop dummy's head. What does psycho mean? What does psycho Marley Renfro's head. What does psycho mean? Bo Peep's head. What does psycho mean? Smurfette's head. What does psycho Richard Franklin's head. What does psycho mean? Gary J. Shipley's head. Psycho mean? Carl's head. Psycho means? What does psycho mean? Psycho mean? What does psycho mean? Psycho get you to hammer, yeah. What does psycho mean? Bingo had you got a psycho. What does psycho mean? Marion? Norman? Mummy, what does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? What does psycho mean? What does psycho 2 mean? What does psycho 2 mean? What does psycho 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 mean?